Hey guys, it's your humble host, or Kev if you prefer. So I'm back with another video, and dare I say it, here we go again. I want to preface this before I go into anything, before I give my thoughts on anything. For those of you who have not heard, another DBZ VA voice actor has been accused of sexual misconduct. This time, though, it's with a minor. So what I want to preface this with is just because it's coming from a side that people may not like, I'm still not going to jump on the bandwagon. Just because this person is being defended by those who went and kicked out Vic and wrongfully accused him, mind you, I'm still not going to jump on the bandwagon. Here's why I'm reporting this, because this isn't just an empty allegation. There are text messages and as well as a statement, and I also want to give my thoughts on some stuff that was revealed and why people may hold on to something like this for quite a while. Anyway, let's go into the article, and we are reading, yes, by Anne. That article that decided to push two people accusing Vic Mañana as victims for being swatted and all that dumb stuff, along with other things. But they actually are reporting on this, to my shock. Let's read. In a public document, which we'll get to too, an Ohio man has accused Evangelion film and Sonny Boy voice actor Daman Mills, Evangelion, of groping him and masturbating next to him while he was asleep. According to alleged victim, the incidents took between 2014 and 2015, when the man was a high school student and Mills was 20 to 21 years old. So what we have here, because the ages are 15 to 16 and 20 to 21, that doesn't even cover, just for people who want to argue the legal issue, that doesn't even cover Romeo and Juliet laws. Those laws do not cover this. Just before anybody pushes that, don't. Miles, through a cease and desist letter sent to the alleged victim on February 18th, asserts that the relationship was consensual and mutual, and the allegations are wholeheartedly false and without merit. The voice actor is asking that the allegations be retracted. Let me read this again. Miles, through a cease and desist letter sent to the alleged victim on February 18th, asserts that the relationship was consensual and mutual, and the allegations are wholeheartedly false and without merit. So, what he's trying to do, he sent a cease and desist, and then he's trying to paint the relationship between him and a minor as consensual and mutual? I'm sorry, you're already in the predator realm with the age brackets that we're dealing with, sir. No. According to the man who spoke to Ann over a video call and has asked to be called Duncan due to the concerns over retaliation and privacy, he met Mills via Facebook when he was just a shy, quiet, and anxious 15-year-old boy. He said they began talking in December of 2012, and the yet undiscovered voice actor was living in Hawaii. So that does require some backtracking to see if things do line up. As I said, there are receipts for some of these text messages, so I'm not throwing shade on the alleged victim here. I'm just saying, as many people have voiced, give them the same treatment as you did Vic Mañana. But we already know that's not going to happen unless there's really a call for it. I'm not saying what happened to Vic Mañana was right by any means. No, that was beyond messed up. According to Duncan, they became familiar with one another through the fan-dub scene. Duncan told Anne that the friendship intensified and Mills confessed sexual and romantic attraction, which Duncan did not reciprocate. At that point, you should have gotten your parents involved, because if you're 15 to 16, you are more than likely still living with mom and dad. I don't know why, and I know it's embarrassing, and again, I'm not going to badmouth Duncan here, but I'm just saying, kids, if you ever find yourself in that type of situation, please, please, please don't hesitate to get your parents involved or a parental figure that you wholeheartedly trust. Please, it'll save you a lot of heartache and pain. Let's continue. According to him, he wanted to be kind to Miles and did not want to end the friendship because of their different sexual orientations. Oh, so let me also point this out too. Is Damon Mills is LGBT, while this young gentleman, at the time, I don't know what he is now, it's not my business, but he was straight. So you have a adult gay man hitting on a young boy minor. The stereotype lives, my friends. Okay. However, he added that he was routinely explaining to Miles that they were not romantically involved over the several-year friendship. I tried to be nice as possible, while also stating I did not feel the same, but didn't want it to affect our friendship. He continued to talk to me every day, texting me constantly, getting angry and emotionally attacking me if I did not respond as quickly as he did. So he started to act like a significant other, a spurred on girlfriend. That's not good. I would have dropped that dude like a hot potato. He would have often brought up that he felt sexually and emotionally attached to me. Red flags all over the place. All of these things I would try to avoid, Duncan wrote in the public document. Duncan said that Mills moved to Ohio in January 2014, approximately a year into their friendship. He said Mills' new home was about an hour from where Duncan lived with his mother and brother, and the two would see one another about once a month. Duncan claimed the first time Mills stayed over at his house, he insisted that they sleep next to one another in the 16-year-old's twin-sized bed. So, okay, and I don't want to shit on this kid's mom. I really don't. Okay, so the father's obviously absent from this situation, but his mom let... What? Did none of these red flags go off to the mom? Like, what was she doing? And again, I'm not trying to shit on anybody in this, but wow. I woke that night to him heavily wrapped against me, nose in my neck, and his entire arm up my shirt. He was caressing my bare body. I felt confused and outraged. This man I had been vulnerable to, taking advantage of my trust. I confronted him, Duncan wrote in the public document, which again, we'll go over that as well. He claimed that Mills denied being a weak, and the teen asked him not to do it again. Oh, I would have gotten my mom. Dude, why aren't the parents involved in this? According to Duncan, Mills' behavior didn't stop, and the sleepovers routinely included Mills asking to sleep in his bed, followed by him waking up to being kissed, caressed, or having his hand moved towards Miles' genitals. On one occasion, Duncan said he woke to discover Miles masturbating next to him in his bed. Okay, I was so alarmed that it took me a couple days to bring this up to him. He then admitted to me that he had been pleasuring himself in my bed. I'm going to be sick. He also told me he would... I don't even want to read that sentence. I really freaking don't. He also told me that he would get off to the idea of me a lot. I feel so much shame for letting this go on for as long as it did, but also anger that someone who knows right from wrong would do these things, Duncan wrote in a public document. Duncan claimed that on Mills' 21st birthday in 2014, Mills came to stay in Duncan's family home and spent hours attempting to persuade the 17-year-old boy to perform oral sex. So we have, okay, let me change the age brackets just a bit because it sounds like they were maybe 3 to 4 years apart. Again, don't even push that Romeo and Juliet law crap with me. This is not that case at all. Oh, man. He stated that Mills told him friends help each other out sometimes. Okay, gaslighting. That is gaslighting and manipulation. Holy sh... I'm so happy now that through the emotional abuse and mind games that I didn't give in. However, I would still wake up to him kissing me in my sleep and fondling me. Some of these things I was too cowardly to even address, Duncan wrote in a public statement. I can't get on the guy too much because having to deal with something like that and going to the appropriate people without them freaking out on you is a very, very, very hard thing to do. Duncan wrote in the public document, he said that the Mills even sought out one of his other acquaintances in hopes of getting photos of Duncan in his underwear. Wow, under the pretense of it being a joke. Wow, this dude needs the wall. Flat out wall. Face the wall. The acquaintance was Brian, who was asked as not to publish his last name due to privacy concerns. Brian said he was introduced to Mills through Duncan in approximately 2014. He and Duncan were friends, forged over the internet, and both teens took part in a Skype-based chat group that included other similarly aged friends. The group often joked around and did the dumb shit that Brian described as typical humor for the time. He said he took a video of Duncan in February 2014 and sent a screenshot of his friend's face as his own profile photo on Facebook. In a screenshot Brian shared with Anne, Mills is shown to have messaged Brian and began asking for the video repeatedly after Brian declined. Okay, so it sounds like nobody alerted the mom, which in a way I understand, but at the same time I'm just going like, ooh, haha, why the fuck is your picture blank? By the way, LOL, that's from the vid and he's hot. I'd really like to see this video, god damn it. Sorry, no, show me. Gross. Brian told Anne that Mills would often make off-color comments on his and other boys' Facebook profiles and play it off as jokes. Oh, so we have someone who's preying on young boys. Face the wall. Including statements like he was going to rape them. He would comment on Facebook posts and, spell rape incorrectly to try and act like it's funny. Brian said in one message from 2014, shared with Anne, Mills wrote to a 16-year-old Brian that they should fuck and asked the teen to send nude photos of himself. Brian said he was contacted by Mills a day after the voice actor's birthday, when Mills allegedly asked Duncan to perform oral sex. In the message screenshot shared with Anne, Mills stated that he and Duncan never really dated, and that his feelings for the teenager were unrequited. Oh, snap. So what is this? Can you guys see this? I hope so. Yes, you can. Come on. We are single, ready to mingle. We should just fuck. You know what I'm saying. Sam send nudes. I'm sad. Even put a tear. Oh my god. Dude, I know the feeling more than you can know, and that's why I'm reaching out because of that. I feel so fucking badly. I would about die. I mean, even though we haven't really dated, I'm still dealing with my unrequited feels for blank every day. Not his fault at all. I just can't shake him. I cried to him on my birthday like a bitch because sometimes I don't know what to do. But I mean, geez, I want to hug you. I don't know what I can say to help you at all except be there for you 100,000%. Duncan told Anne that another incident allegedly took place outside of his home when he went to visit Mills in February 2015. Like previous incidents, actually, OBS is behaving, thank you. Duncan said that Mills asked that they sleep in the same bed. Duncan stated he woke up that morning Mills prodding my penis through my shorts, and that's only what I was awake for. According to Duncan, he woke up mortified, to which he said Mills only laughed. Duncan said he confronted Mills about it later and that Mills made him promise not to tell anyone. Oh, so we're gaslighting, manipulating, and we are shaming the victim from speaking out. Wall. Big brick red wall. When Duncan would try to talk to Mills about his interest in girls, he said the voice actor would tell him he was jealous or otherwise concerned that Duncan would abandon him if he entered a relationship with the girl. Facebook messages shared, oh boy, there's more, with Anne that show in 2015, Mills told Duncan that when the teenager found a significant other, it would hurt him. Oh, there's more. Why is there more? Additional Facebook messages from 2014 to 2015 show Mills discussed helping the teen masturbate, asked what kind of sexual acts he was interested in, asked for a... I'm not even going to finish that. Sorry. That is a no-go. No, I just get some more jealous when you're hanging out by yourself with a pretty girl and it's nice. Her mom, LOL, and thanks. Why do you get more jealous? I need more clothes, and because I'm secure and brace myself for the hurt. Same, and what do you mean? I get insecure because of girls because I'm just waiting for the day when you find someone and I have to hurt from it, so I'm always on the edge. Even though I try to accept things I can't control, my anxiety and pain from it, and you don't need to apologize and explain yourself or anything. This is just how it is and how I remain Probably. No, Iska, just you want to try to get into it. How can I help you get it up? I don't know. Have you tried touching? Oh, I don't want to read this. Have you tried touching it? If I can't get it up, that's what I do. Well, sorry, I'm just getting antsy. Okay, so I don't even want to explain what's going on in this, man. The underlying part, not what's on the surface. Oh my. No, and true, and huh? Why don't you try it? Never mind, but E. Focus for a minute, K. Kisses your neck. Yeah, he's trying to ERP with them, and oh. Come on, I know you just love sex stuff just as much as the next guy. Sex stuff? This kid is confused, clearly innocent. Getting horny, fapping, everyone likes to. And you've gotten me more stirred up than anyone has before. So yeah, he's getting off. This is disgusting. Oh my gosh. So you can try to please for me. And if you get in that mindset, I can probably be more helpful. So he's trying to. So for those of you who have not registered what is going on here, he's trying to help this young minor pleasure himself, and he's trying to get off to it at the same time. Eventually, Duncan stated that his mother got involved. Oh, thank God. Thank you, Jesus. And by March 2015, the two were no longer in regular contact. Duncan said that he never told his mother in depth what was going on. I didn't tell her about it for years because I felt ashamed, which is completely understandable because it's a hard thing to talk about, man. Hard thing to process, too. I guess, and I was like, I'm a guy, I should feel like a man, this isn't happening to me. I tried to dismiss it in my head because I didn't know how to deal with it, which, again, true. His brain went to coping mechanisms, trying to keep him from going insane. He said he told Anne that his mother thought it was strange that they were sharing a twin-sized bed and offered Miles a couch instead. According to Duncan, Mills became offended and accused his mother of assuming he would do something inappropriate just because of his sexual orientation. Now, at that point, the mom should have had red flags go off and kicked this freaking ass bag out of the house, but she didn't. Duncan said he felt trapped during the confrontation because he claimed that Mills had already been inappropriate with him in his bed, but he didn't want to say anything in front of Mills and his mother. So his bed, his safe space for sleeping was beyond violated. I'd freaking take a match to the bed. According to Brian, Mills began distancing himself from the friend group as a whole in 2015 when he reached out to Mills in May 2015 to ask why. Mills replied that he didn't want to deal with Duncan or hear about what I've done wrong or anything between him and I. Linked images edit. Oh, boy, there's more. Because of all the stuff, everyone pretty much stopped talking to him. Duncan started opening up to more people about the alleged incidents. I don't know if Daman found out about it or what, but he started very quickly cutting everybody off. I wonder if he had people messaging him about it. He started bad-mouthing Duncan to his voice actor friends and people he knew in the industry, Brian said. That's what I believe because he was trying to distance himself from it as much as possible. Gaslighting. Why did you unadd me? Because I keep having to deal with Duncan. I don't want to deal with Duncan, and I either see something about him in my timeline or someone goes and says something to him about something I've said or posted, and I don't really trust anyone right now, nor do I need the drama. No, you just don't want to be put on the wall for what you did. I don't want to hear about what I've done wrong or anything between him and I made peace with him and agreed it's best not to talk. Did you know? But yet somehow things still keep getting brought up, and if I have to remove mutual friends to save my mental health, oh, you mean your own guilt for getting caught and causing a minor to go in deep shame and have his personal space violated, both on a physical level and his own house. I will do so. I don't know who I can trust right now. I don't have the time or patience to deal with high school drama, whether I'm instigating it or otherwise. Oh, get this. I don't have the time or patience to deal with high school drama, whether I'm instigating it or it's otherwise. So even if you start shit, if you don't want to deal with it, sounds legit. If you want me to re-add you, I will, but I am so extremely paranoid and not happy right now at all. So, let's look at the document, shall we? This is so gross. So the document is thus. Daman Mills molested me. I've been meaning to get this off my chest for quite some time now. Let me make sure OBS, yes, you can see this. I have always been too afraid to speak up, given his standing in the entertainment industry. However, I feel this information may help others and not making the same mistakes I have made. Okay. This was all happened between 2012 and 2015. I was never 18 during any of this, so again, minor. I was 15-year-old boy, a minor. Damien, a 19-year-old adult. Okay, so we have a 4-year, again, 4-year. Again, do not argue that Romeo and Juliet crap with me, please. Don't do it. Damien met me over Facebook, and due to our similar interests, we became friends. It was very early on that he admitted he had feelings for me. I tried to be as nice as possible, while also stating that I did not feel the same. But didn't want to affect our friendship. He continued to talk to me every day, texting me constantly, getting angry and emotionally attacking me. If I did not respond as quickly as he did, he would often bring up that he felt sexually and emotionally attached to me. All these things I would try to avoid. Now, let me point out something too, because I've had this argument with people before. These two obviously were not still in high school. It was not consensual. The parents, especially Duncan's, was not involved in this. So there are several factors in here, several variables of criteria that were not met. So before people argue, well, you're hypocritical, you've said this before about this, this, and this. No. With these types of relationships, if the two were still in high school and it was consensual and there were parents involved, that is the only way this would work. But none of those criteria is met. Okay? Now we're clear. Oh crap, where did I leave off? Okay, I tried to be nice as possible, also stating I did not feel the same, but didn't want to affect our friendship. He continued to talk to me every day, texting me constantly, getting angry and emotionally attacking me if I did not respond as quickly as he did. He would often bring up that he felt sexually and emotionally attached to me. All of these things I would try to avoid. After a year-long distance friendship, he moved closer an hour away, another red flag. A couple of times a month, he would go out of his way to visit me. I was a child and didn't fully grasp the invasive nature behind this. True, and teenagers do not pick up on this stuff. It's only when they look back at this stuff later with a clear mind and able to process all this that they go, oh crap, there's red flags all over the place. You see, I don't think he was ever truly happy just to be friends, and he wasn't. I was a naive young man. The first weekend he spent with me, he begged to sleep next to me in my bed, a twin-size bed for one, and he was roughly twice my size. Emotionally forcing me into guilt, I allowed this. I woke that night to him heavily wrapped against me, nose in my neck. I already kind of read this in the article, but I'll read it again. And his entire arm up my shirt. He was caressing my bare body. I felt confused and outraged. This man I had been vulnerable to, taking advantage of my trust. I confronted him. He tried to shy it off, saying I must have been asleep. I then asked him to never do it again, to be expected. That wasn't the end of it. Every single time he would visit, he would beg to sleep in my bed. My mother even tried to stop this, which she should have. She had the authority to do so. That should have been a red flag for her. He argued with her, victimized himself, and turned it into a matter of sexuality, so he would end up next to me, and every time would molest me. What is wrong with this person's mother? If that was me and you were a grown-ass man trying to sleep with my boy's son, I would threaten to call the cops if you don't get your ass out of my house. I'm just saying his mom failed him in this too. Big time. And the fact that she didn't go up and check up on these two, because had she also checked up, she would have been made aware more. Again, this is partly the mom's failing too. This is her not being a proper parent. Just saying. So he would end up next to me and every time it would molest me to the entire extent I am unaware, but can at least reference times that I was conscious. On one occasion, I woke up startled. He was moving around a lot. It didn't take me long to realize he was masturbating right next to me. I was so alarmed that it took me a couple days to bring this up to him. He then admitted to me that he had been pleasuring himself in my bed. He also told me he would get off the idea of me a lot. I feel so much shame for letting this go on as long as it did, but it also angered me that someone who knows right from wrong would do these things. Time would pass and we'd find any reason in the world to come into my home. I try to be as nice as possible. Again, this is also the mother, not being a parent and catching on or not doing her job. I'm sorry, part of this falls to his mother. Part of this blame falls to her. Big time. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. I tried to be as nice as possible and it would always be my downfall. He would speak poorly of girls I would be talking to and trash my family, and I, amongst his peers of actors, I was always the bad guy. On his 21st birthday, he came to stay with me. He would often beg me for hours to kiss him or pleasure him, insinuating I give him a blowjob. And that friends help each other out sometimes. Come on, it's my birthday. I'm so happy now that through the emotional abuse and mind games that I didn't give in. However, I would still wake up to him kissing me in my sleep and fondling me. Some of these things I was too cowardly to even address. So I'm not going to read the rest of this, not because it's not important and you guys can click and read on it yourselves, just because I need to stop. I need to freaking stop. Because this is just I can't finish this. I'm sorry. So a few things, and I'm going to repeat. His part of the blame for this is his mother, because she saw some of the red flags, got into arguments, and didn't check on the situation, didn't tell Daman to get the hell out of her house, didn't get the police involved. Like, why did his mother's brain, Duncan's mother's brain, just suddenly shut off after the argument? Like, I don't understand this. And then again, there's receipts, unrequited love. You guys saw them. They're linked in the article. Or unrequited feelings. Daman Mills is disgusting. So because there's context there, because the texts are there, I'm going to tell you guys right now, and everyone else is saying it, unless there's a dramatic push, unless there is significant and severe pressure, you're not ever going to see Daman Mills kicked out. You're not going to see Daman Mills go through the same onset of crap that Vic Mañana did. Now, granted, let me remind you guys that Vic Mañana, there was no freaking evidence against him or Todd Habercorn of rape, of freaking molesting anybody, of him misappropriately dealing with his fans or hugging them. There's no evidence for that whatsoever. There were big YouTubers, small YouTubers, including myself, who combed through many, many, many photos, the freaking documentation that was put out there, all the freaking dumb articles. Some of us even called the cops to verify people were trying to turn themselves into victims with being claimed they were swatted. What is that one chick's face? I don't remember. Samantha, first name is Samantha, and then you have Soy Goku. For the life of me, his name escapes me right now. You guys know who I'm talking to. The guy, the same voice actor who threw a fit when the older voice actors or original voice actors for Goku tried to come to the same convention. They were disinvited because he threw a shit fit. So, that crowd. So, again, I'm not hopping on the bandwagon because people who came after Vic are trying to protect this guy. I'm not hopping on the bandwagon because it's against people who many don't like because of what they did to Vic. I'm reporting on this because it needs to be put out there. There's evidence of this, and you have a predator, a legit predator, involved in the DBZ universe, in the DBZ project right now, And someone else pointed this out. I want to say this was Yellow Flash because I have watched his coverage of this. I started to watch Clownfish TV's coverage of this. They're not going after him because he's a protected class. He's LGBT. And as I stated in the video, stereotypes live, my friends. You had a gay grown-ass man going after a minor boy who is straight. We've heard stories like that before, haven't we? Now, also, let me point this out too, because this was also said, and especially I want to say in Yellow Flash's comment section, and I believe Yellow Flash brought this up too. When it comes to male victims / survivors, and there's different levels of sexual abuse, so I'm not saying Duncan is a survivor, but had things escalated, had things continue to, I would say, evolve, I don't know one thing about it, and I'm sure you guys don't want to either. But anyway, male victims of sexual abuse, rape, assault, molestation, they're usually kind of shoved in the corner by the rest of society, by the rest of media, because men are always seen as the monsters. They're never seen as ones that can get hurt as well. So I want to bring that to the forefront as well, that we do have a male victim, a past victim who is still suffering the ramifications and side effects from what happened to him, and there is evidence. Something I want to touch upon too, because I did bring this up in the video, as to why victims may wait years to bring something like this up. And I'm not going to go, oh, well, he's trying to destroy damaged males, blah, blah, blah. No, y'all have already heard that angle in just other scenarios and when they try to Me Too people, but this is not a case of Me Too. This is a legitimate case of a past victim who finally was able, for the most part it sounds like, to process what happened to them, give voice to it, and vocalize with evidence, mind you. And for those of you who are going to come out and go, oh, well, he's faking all these screenshots, people don't hold on to this stuff forever, da da da, I'm going to call bullshit. Because I got stuff just for me personally, and I'm sure you've seen with multiple situations. I'm going to reference one. For those of you who know about the Creep Show art stuff, she had years and years of stuff. So, and sometimes, and a lot of YouTubers do it, and anybody who knows how to archive does it, where they do keep stuff for years and years for different reasons. And the fact, and with Facebook Messenger, it's not hard to go back and dig through messages. Twitter, if the person's account that you spoke with isn't suspended or nuked or deactivated or what have you, you can go back and get those messages. It's not flipping hard. It really isn't. So, but the fact that he's now able to vocalize this stuff and come back and say, no, I have proof. This is what was said to me. Here's what, and you have someone else who also has text messages giving context, talking about the freaking joke video. It's here. So I'm going to say, in good faith, that this is a legitimate case of a predator trying to silence his victim. And because this is a male victim, a lot of people don't want to touch this. And because a predator is a protected class, LGBT, they don't want to touch it either, which is messed up. It should not matter who the person is. It should not matter who the victim is. If there is evidence, if the claims are backed up in context and things are not twisted, I don't give a damn who's being accused. I don't give a damn who the victim is. So, in this case, and the guy's not revealing his true name, otherwise I'd say go support him, go give him some love. But in this case, I don't have any links or anything to give you in regards to supporting the victim. Best thing you guys can do is pass, I dare say it, the Ann article around. This is the first time I've seen some legitimate reporting out of this newspaper or online article group. I don't know how you want to put that. But yeah, pass the article around. Any videos covering this, pass those around, whether they're by your favorite YouTuber or you just discovered the YouTuber. Pass them around, because what happened to Vic Mignogna was completely messed up and without evidence, and now they actually have a genuine predator that they are protecting. And let's face it, a lot of nasty shit came out during the Vic Mignogna stuff, where a lot of people in Funimation are sexual degenerates. We heard some rumors about Chris Sabat. You heard the freaking voice recording, practice recording that came out, and that Toei had a freaking field day over. So anyway, if any more stuff comes out, make sure you pass that around and tell Damien Mills just to shut up. This was also pointed out by Yellow Flash and many people in his comment section, that all these people who went after Vic's like, well, believe the victims, you just need to listen and believe. Well, when it comes to Damien Mills, from what I heard, Marshall isn't touching it, Monocle Real isn't touching it, Jamie Markey isn't touching it. Nobody's coming out from that group in support of the victim. Why? Because they're sexual degenerates themselves. Just saying, they're going to protect their own ilk, and they're going to go after the ones who they don't like with this stuff. It never fails. Anyway, this has been your humble host. I hope you guys have a good one and get the word out. And Duncan, if you're watching any of these videos, Yellow Flash, Clownfish TV, I'm sure there's going to be many, many more. Thank you for speaking out. It's hard. I'm a survivor myself. And hopefully, I know you said, because there's a last little bit, and I forgot to show you this to you guys. I do not wish to press legal charges as a way to condemn my anonymity. However, I just want my voice to be heard and maybe help others who are afraid to speak up. As for Damon, I hope that this has at some point been a learning curve for him. It won't. I'm going to tell you right now, hun. It won't, and unless he is brought forth and properly punished. He's not going to learn shit, because he's already trying to silence you. He's trying to legally get you to shut up. He's more than likely, because if this persists of pressure, he's more than likely going to try to take you to court. So I'm going to make this prediction, is because you spoke out, you have to continue fighting for your voice now. You have to continue fighting for this to be heard, and it's going to possibly get to a legal realm of court, hun. And I hate to say that. And if that does come out to where you're exposed or whatnot, there's going to be many, many people behind you who are willing to pitch in money to help you. But you just speaking out like this without any other weight behind it. I'm not saying your voice doesn't have a weight. What I'm saying is predators like Damon don't learn unless they are shown the other ways, legally forced out of their circles, and the fact that you have people protecting him. You sound like you have a good heart. You really do. But now that this story's out there, your voice needs to be protected, and maybe this will encourage other people to come forward, because I know that you had your hope in the document that Damon didn't do this to anybody else. But he probably has more victims out there, hun. And so I just want to let you know that when and if this gets to a more higher level of lawsuits and stuff, you do have people to back you up. I hope he has since gotten help and that it does not affect him in the long run. And this is kind of a hyperbole, ambiguous, whether this affects him financially. Here's the thing, Duncan. Here's the thing. Is Mills chose this. He could have gotten help at any time. He chose to prey on you guys. And as I said, I'm sure he has more victims. And I do hope that they come forward, because there was a big thing. I'm not sure if you followed any of the Vic Mignogna stuff, Duncan. But there was a big thing about fixing the broken staircase, getting all the freaking predators and blah, 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 blah out of the industry. Ended up being nothing more than a freaking hit list of people they didn't like. So in this case, this is a true fix the broken staircase type deal. So, and it's hard to come out, and it's hard to vocalize your story, and I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that you're still processing. Um, I don't have the words as to what I want to say right now. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. And this wasn't, do not think, let me tell you this too. Do not think that anything that may cause Daman to get kicked from the industry, when and if, or if it even happens at all, or if Daman faces any legal repercussions or anything like that, if that's even in the works, do not think it's your fault. It is not your fault that Daman Mills decided to prey on you. It is not your fault that he has now ruined himself, possibly down the road financially, his reputation, his overall, shall we say, person. None of this is your fault. You had courage enough to speak out, and I really hope that you are able to process it and you do find that lady that you are looking for, and I hope that she is understanding to what you've gone through, because that is very important as well. And I'm just going to be frank with you, because the way that society views male victims, male survivors, they have taught women, and I've seen articles and things like that, they've taught women that if men were to reveal that stuff to them, yeah. So I'm hoping that your lady, and if you're in a relationship now, I hope that your lady fully understands and is able to be there alongside of you, which isn't an easy task either. Again, I'm a survivor, and having my husband try to understand some of the stuff that I went through is difficult for him. I'm not shitting on him. It's just a way of life. That's how it is. Not everybody understands this stuff completely. So I don't want to drag this out anymore, but I hope you hear the heart of what I'm saying. None of this is your fault. You had somebody prey on you, and your mother failed you. And I'm not trying to shit on her, but because of her lack of action, because of her lack of discernment. Anyway, much love to you, whatever your real name is, Duncan. Much love to your friend, Brian, who also stood by you in this. Sounds like a really good friend you have found there. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Get this out, spread this around, and hoping that something good from the industry comes from this. So you guys have a good one.